Hello YouTube, I'm back with another video about the 1983 Honda Goldwing. Just making an update about the installed and updated manifold. So I bought this manifold off of eBay from a seller in Lithuania who has a machine that makes these. And what I did was I actually added heat to this manifold. I put them, can't really see very well, but I wrapped it all with aluminum tape, very shoddily, but don't judge me. It's on the bottom. They're these like polyamide heaters. They're like a film with some wire in the middle that heats up. It's like the same stuff that goes in your toaster, but it runs off of 12 volts. I actually had to wire them in parallel, or I wired them in parallel. So one side of the heaters and then the other side. And I use these handy little Wago connectors, not official ones, they're cheap ones off of Amazon. So I got the hot side and then the ground. Ground goes to a little screw right here that screws into the frame. And then I also have another ground coming off the carburetor into this side. So I'll just show you how I wired it up real quick. So open it up. Take this tray out. There's the 34 PICT3. So from here, we can see that I actually have one. Don't mess with these, because those are for the fuses for the bike. So I have hot, and one side comes, or one of these, there's two eyelets on there. One goes to the carburetor 12 volt input. The other one goes to my heater system. You can see, so I'll just put that back real quick. I'll fix that later. Just a minute. There we go. So one for the heater comes right down through a Wago connector, just because I tucked it under there. It fits really nicely. And then, pardon the fire truck. Then into a 5 amp fuse. I did the math. My dad's an electrician, so he helped me with this. We discovered a 5 amp fuse is enough. So into this fuse holder I bought at Walmart, into another Wago, into this wire. Honestly, 12 gauge wire that comes with this is way too big. You only really need, I think we're using, I can't remember if it's 18 or 20. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They don't pull very much currents. We measured it. They pull about 3 amps maybe. So then it goes down here. And second, it goes into the hot side, or no, this one's the hot one right here, this one right here, into the heaters, and then this is ground. And eventually I'm gonna have to cable tie this somewhere. I don't know, figure it out. I also might put like a little shield over this just to keep the heat in. On the Facebook single carb swap page, people are talking about that a lot. This I haven't, it seems to work all right. Sometimes the heaters don't look like they can heat up, or they can keep up, but any more power, I think they can pull 28 watts altogether. Each heater is 7 watts and there's 4 of them, one on each runner. Any more than that and you're looking at pulling too much out of the stator right here and killing your battery. So because these bikes are actually really weird how the voltage regulator works. Don't ask, it's just really confusing. Goldwing Docs has a great article about it, where if these things are producing too much electricity, instead of just charging your battery like an alternator or whatever, they just dump it all to the ground, which is very annoying, but it worked for the time. So to free up some extra headroom in the power, I swapped all the lights to LEDs. So I just put an LED, I think it was an H11 in here, LED bulbs in the signals. They have serious hyper flash, so I have to get a resistor or whatever. I did all the lights, brake lights too, all LEDs, super cheap on Amazon. Like, it was Prime Day, so I ordered a bunch of them. So yeah, that's honestly just about it for the single carb update. Heat. I seem to have the 34 PICT3. That's the ideal accelerator pump adjustment. After testing that for a while, let me zoom in. Just a second, there we go. After messing around with that for a while, I figured that was perfect. I wanted to go as lean for the accelerator pump as possible, just due to the amount of gas that this thing is not very efficient with a single carb, with a Volkswagen carb. But too little gas and it'll hesitate real bad off of acceleration. So when you flick the accelerator, it'll hesitate real bad. And then too much will also do the same thing, and it is not very good. Something to keep in mind again, I've noticed, I have to take this manifold off again and make new inner tube gaskets, is that these elbows, these rubber elbows, aren't actually sized for this manifold. So they'll have vacuum leaks, so I just use inner tube. I hope to find something a little bit more permanent, because these probably aren't going to last very long with this heat. I don't know, we'll see. I don't seem to have any vacuum leaks. I tested it with starting fluid, didn't have any surges or anything, so I don't think I'm leaking. If I do get leaks, I'll just dump a bunch of high temp RTV on there. I don't really care. Doesn't really matter, just because I don't know, eventually I might go back to the stock carbs if I feel like it. Yeah, also another thing is, I was careful with these. I had to order new bolts for the intake elbows because I sheared them off, actually. I definitely over torqued them. It's really hard to line everything up, so to line these all up perfectly. So I actually sheared off these, and let me tell you, 3 of these were about $25, and that was the cheapest I could find online, so good luck with that. Yeah, they actually got stuck in the head, and I had to use an extractor bit and patience to get them out. Worst comes to worst, though, if that ever happens again, I'll just buy a new head. A new head's like literally $50 on eBay, so could probably use a new head gasket. Who knows? So yeah, actually, that's all I really did here. Then to the carb, I changed the wiring a little bit. I actually wired them, come out of this Wago connector. I taped one up here. And it just goes, this goes to the fuel cutoff, and there's one that splits off and goes to the electric choke element. And then, yeah, if you get this air filter, this tray will fit in nicely. It'll wobble a little bit, but doesn't matter. And then watch this. Yeah, I have a spring for this, it's broken, but it just closes really nicely now. So yeah, I also have this switch to turn the heaters on and off. I was going to use a temperature regulator. I have it in the back of my car right here, but I didn't think it was necessary, just because I didn't want the extra complexion, and it just didn't seem worth it, and all the extra work just for something that might not actually work. So I just used the on-off switch to turn it on and off. Yeah, and then here's a Wago connector I probably should tie up or something, and this is just kind of zip tied on here until I can find a better place for it, but this seems to work all right. So yeah, that is it. That's the single carb update. Thank you. Bye.